As I said, good evening. Welcome to tonight's edition of Feedback. Tonight we're talking with the Clarion County Commissioners. It may look like I'm on a different set. I am indeed, because you see we're here on the larger set tonight. So we can accommodate all three of them being down here. We're going to talk to them about a variety of things you've heard on the news, things you've read about in the paper. Whatever comes up, we'll talk about it. And they're fun, so we'll have a good time, right?
Right.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get one commercial break out of the way, and when we come back, we're talking with the commissioners. Stay with us. Feedback continues after the break.
This portion of the programming was brought to you by the Clarion Bowl Arena, located on Route 322, 1 mile east of Clarion. Bowl Arena offers rock and bowl every Friday and Saturday night, and a game room with 8 pool tables and arcade games. Bowl Arena also offers bumper bowling for kids' birthdays and league play for adults. Call 764-3471. Again, that's 764-3471.
What is a hero? Are heroes born, or are they made? In after-school programs, your kids will uncover hidden strengths, discover they have the power to change their future, and find the hero inside themselves. Let us know you on after-school programs in your area. Call 1-800-USA-LEARN. After-school programs, helping kids find the hero within.
This portion of the programming was made possible through a grant by the Captain Loomis Hotel and Restaurant. The Captain Loomis Hotel and Restaurant is located at 540 Main Street in Clarion and offers dining as well as a nightclub. The restaurant and nightclub are open 7 days a week for your convenience. Call Captain Loomis Hotel and Restaurant, 226-8400.
I'm the best thing you ever had. Only things I'm guilty of. Giving you too much love. Making you crazy, making you right. Making me fall, making me suspect. Seem to think I'm playing her game. Don't you know her? This is me.
There's a better way to have fun with history. Visit americaslibrary.gov. Log on, play around, learn something.
You're watching TVD5 with Zeta Tau Alpha.
Come up north.
Welcome back to Feedback. We're here with the Clarion County Commissioners, as I said. Let me formally introduce them if you don't know them. Butch Campbell, actually first appearance on this program.
Yes, it is.
For you. So welcome.
Thank you.
To the fun that is Feedback. Donna Hartle's been here, and Dave Seppert, who's been here as well. Thank you all for being here. All right, so reading in the paper, we can't not hear about this. A lawsuit has been filed naming the three of you as defendants as well as the sheriff in protesting and the ordinance or the rule that's saying you can't bring guns into the courthouse. And it's gone into legalese, as I've seen in the papers in the last few days, basically saying, why aren't you guys having any comment on this? Why aren't you guys having any comment on this?
Well, that's in litigation. It's before the courts and the attorneys, so it would not do us justice at this time to make any public comment on it, basically.
You still back the proposal?
Certainly do.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay, why is... Because even when we haven't really talked since this proposal was first put into place. Why is not a proposal, the ordinance? Why is this all in place that when I go down there, I have to go through that metal detector and I can only bring certain things in, and they're really searching through my bag? What prompted this to happen? You know, September 11th, or just general concerns?
There's been a law basically on the books, and correct me if I'm wrong, for quite some time in regards to courthouse security in the courtrooms and adjoining corridors. There's been instances where judges have actually been attacked by people that had a dangerous weapon of some sort or whatever within the court facility. And then especially after 911's tragic events, also has added more fire to the system that your buildings be protected, and Clarion County is not the only one. Your state buildings, federal buildings, try to get on an airliner and watch what happens. Nearly every county in Pennsylvania now has some type of a security system, not only in the court buildings, but in any other buildings that the county may operate or own.
Then maybe, the next question is, then maybe this isn't the question for you, maybe it's a question for those posing the lawsuit, but then what maybe I don't understand is, then why is a suit even being brought here if this is something that's already on the books? I mean, there's a law, apparently, I mean, and look, like you said, an airliner. These things are already on the books. How can this proceed to where it is? And if you're not comfortable answering, that's fine.
Anybody has the opportunity to file any kinds of charges in this country that they want to. Whether they'll stand up or not, or whether they're defendable or not, that remains to be seen. But that's one of the advantages of this country, the freedom to speak and state your mind.
Okay. Let's move on from that, and let's still talk about the courthouse. The renovations continue and continue. Now I'm leaving in May. Am I going to see? I see the sides, and it looks nice, and from what I can see, it looks beautiful. I'm leaving in May. Am I going to see all the scaffolding down? And
yes, you will. Yes, you will. As a matter of fact, we had a construction meeting yesterday afternoon, and everyone told us that looking at the end of March for completion of the project. So we're winding everything down. We're definitely seeing the light at the end of the tunnel on this whole project. And we still have some finishing touches to do. The roofer still has to place some of the shingles on the front part, which are on the northern side of the courthouse. We'll be having lights installed up in the balconies that will project up onto the tower, and doing a little bit of touch-up work here and there. So weather permitting, and hopefully everything is going along per the way it is right now, we're looking at the end of March, right guys?
We ran into a lot of problems that were unanticipated. That's why the time element is long. Commissioner Campbell's been pretty much on top of the problems we've been having up on top, what we call on top of the clock area. Maybe comment on that.
You said in one of our earlier discussions, if it wasn't done in March, you'd have a story. Well, you've got a story, but it's not as exciting as it could have been in March. They started in early January, about the 10th of January, to do work that they anticipated would take 2 months. If it was great weather, they found nothing else wrong, it would take 2 months. If they found more, or if we had a bad winter, and we didn't have bad snowstorms, but we had a lot of cold weather. When you get 150 feet above the ground, the wind's whipping around, and that does slow down production. So we're still within that 2 to 3 month window. Unfortunately, we found more problems, some more rotted wood on the gables of the courthouse. They had to peel the metal off, all the fancy finials and rosettes. They took those off. They were able to salvage about 70% of them. The other 25% had to be totally refabricated, and that was done in Pittsburgh. Parts were made, shipped up here. So that's taken a little bit longer. Between the cold weather slowing things down and the added work, we're still in the 3 month window. We're just not at the 2 month.
Financially, what does it mean then? I mean, I keep seeing, right, you're pointing up, and I keep seeing that, and is it so far up that it's going to be a problem? Or
no, I don't see that.
Was there any, did you foresee this could happen and we're ready for it?
The original project was 1.2 million, I believe.
Roughly.
And rubbing the crystal ball for the unseen, we went out and projected to be 2 million. So we're still within where we planned.
And this added work was estimated between $250,000 and $350,000, with a not to exceed guaranteed $475,000. Well, we're in that original window. We're at about 200.
It's about 280,000.
About 280. So we're right in the middle of the window where it was projected with the added work. So it's right on. And what we didn't really grasp, when they're talking 2 more months to do the work, well, then they had about 3 weeks worth of work from the original contract. They couldn't finish until they brought the scaffolding down. So it was 2 months additional plus the 3 weeks. So like Donna said, we should be done by the end of March. Definitely by the time you leave in May.
Okay, I hope so.
Dinner's on us if not.
Okay, is that on tape?
Catch it.
My question now is, what happens when this is done and security at the courthouse? I don't want to keep harping back to this, but now we're kind of going downstairs and we're going through the security gate. Is there going to be the main entrance open plus that downstairs entrance, the back entrance? Has this even been looked at?
We've discussed it. We've got some things on the drawing board right now with proposed entrance and exit ways, as well as cameras, digital readers or proximity readers to get in and out of the courthouse, cameras on the outside. But right now, until we get a lot of the scaffolding down and get some of those projects done, so to speak, we can't really proceed with this. It is on the back burner right now, so as soon as this exterior renovation project gets completed and everything is finalized, we will be moving into that next phase.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and take a break. Enough talk about the courthouse and that which happens there. Well, we'll still talk about that which happens there when we come back. We're going to take a break talking with the Clarion County Commissioners. Stay with us. Feedback continues after this.
I wasn't going to school because I was making money stealing cars. Well, I was 10 when I first got involved with drugs. I skipped school because, nobody cared.
When I first got pregnant, school was not important to me, so I dropped out.
Well, if I don't finish school, then I can't go to college. That's the whole point of what I want to do with my life.
I still need to go to school to make it for myself.
I think I'm happier now. I know I'm happier now.
This portion of the programming was made possible through a grant by Fox's Pizza Den. Fox's Pizza Den is located on Old Route 66 in Clarion and offers all-day delivery. Phone 226-5555. That's 226-5555. Fox's Pizza Den is open 7 days a week for your convenience. Phone 226-5555.
We sing for millions of girls, but helping out in schools, that's the real deal, baby.
I know our love can multiply.
I'm the cute one, you know what I'm saying? Have you ever been backstage before?
'Cause you're the excel.
I think you'll find that gravity is key in what I do.
Once was one, but now it's you.
I'm spinning out of control.
Oh.
This portion of the program was made possible through a grant from Clarion Hospital. Clarion Hospital is located off of Exit 9 of Interstate 80. Clarion Hospital offers outpatient services, transitional care, as well as an emergency room open around the clock every day of the year. More than 400 employees and 80 physicians work to serve the community. Call the Clarion Hospital at 226-9500. Clarion Hospital, providing health care to Clarion County and surrounding communities since 1954.
The other news in Main Street is...
Hey, we're back. How about that? We're just sitting here talking. Welcome back to Feedback. These guys are so much fun. I tell you what, in graduate May, I'm really going to miss having the three of you down. This is fun.
Thank you.
Back to grad school.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll come back to interview you every once in a while.
That'll be fine. We enjoy it.
Jail warden. This is interesting. We get John Rowley, April or May of last year, and come a few weeks ago, by about a month ago now, he says that he's leaving. And what is the county to do? What's going on here? What's going to happen?
Warden Rowley was offered a position in South Carolina in the $60,000 range plus a vehicle. It's a terrible loss for Clarion County. He was a tremendous man. He's accomplished a tremendous amount of time in 9 months, approximately 9 months he was there. And it was a figure and situation we couldn't reach as a county. We did up the ante somewhat, and it was interesting to him, but his wife and he both have decided they would retire down south. Well, the opportunity come up for him to be head of a 350-bed prison, and everything was, the timing was right, and he's figuring being there, what, 5-6 more years and retiring. So it was a great loss for us. Obviously, we are advertising for that position again.
And what happens in the interim?
Interim, we have
Deputy Warden.
John Traster, Deputy Warden John Traster is filling in as temporary warden.
Okay.
And we've brought another gentleman up from the ranks to fill in as deputy warden. So
everything is on
we
track.
just made a shift, half a step upward.
Something just popped into my head. A few weeks ago when I was at the commissioners meeting, at the salary board meeting that followed, the meeting was long because there was a lot on the salary board issue.
Oh, yes.
Now, and I think Commissioner Campbell even brought something up at the meeting saying, do we need to take a look at this? And I got the meetings. I wasn't at the meeting this week, but I got the meeting minutes, and I think it was shorter, but it wasn't.
That's coincidental.
Okay, so
what we normally do on the salary board, there was 33 separate items, and whenever we entertain a motion, we cut that whole listing down. We grouped everybody together in certain departments. If there was 10 people that fell under mental health category, being that is the place of work, we incorporated all of those individuals, all those transactions into one motion. So when you did look at the minutes, it was like, well, what happened to all these 33? But if you take a look at those different motions, they included a large portion of that agenda listing.
Where my comments came in was the fact that a lot of these were retroactive. The people had already been hired, already working, and we were just going through the motions of hiring them, which isn't the way it should happen.
Right.
We should approve them and they then be hired. And that's what's happening now. It's gotten...
Why does that happen?
Sometimes it's necessary evil. Situation occurred recently with the 911 EMA coordinator retiring. He retired. Well, we couldn't wait till the next commissioners meeting to fill that void. We couldn't appoint somebody until he had retired officially. He quit at 4:30 on a Friday, so at 4:30 that day we had to appoint an EMA director.
And that's under state law.
Under state law. They've got to have somebody to contact. In the normal courthouse offices, it would have happened Monday morning. But because they're a 24/7 situation, then at the next commissioners meeting, it was retroactive that he be hired as EMA coordinator. But a lot of the other staff has been, it just hasn't been getting the paperwork through the system.
And so that's in the process of happening now then?
We had no
retroactive issues on salary board this last week. We had, 9 issues, I believe? A lot of these on human services, and not to say anything wrong with some of the retroactive, but on human services, they are civil service, and they have to go through a different routine than normal county employees. So a lot of times those positions are vacant for a period of time until all the criteria can be met for civil service requirements, and that has sometimes a retroactive piece in it. But what we also did at Salary Board today was we decided to take a look at doing requests for proposals to go out and seek professional services to do a job performance and evaluation / pay scale study. The last time this was done in the county was in 1980, which is 22 years ago, and we felt that maybe it's time, and especially after having, 80-some transactions on Salary Board since January 1st, that maybe there's a problem there that we're not seeing, and we're losing a lot of our good employees to other employers.
Okay. That seems like a reasonable answer to me.
Thank you. That's pretty good.
Okay, 911 center. Can everybody talk to each other now? I mean, is this a working system? I mean, there have been some reports that there have been problems. Are these reports true? I mean, is the center working well? Are phones working? Are communications working?
PEMA came in. PEMA came in last November, told us it was time to do a review of our emergency management agency and 911 center. They came in, they said they're coming in after the first of the year. So it's a review. They do these from time to time, whether it's keyed by information they're getting from us or they decided it needs done. We don't know what brought them in. They decided to come in. They spent 4 days going through the systems. Well, the last day, they wanted to go out and see all our radio towers and our outside communications. And I went along with them. One of the stops we made, was out at Clarion Borough Police Department, the borough office. We have an auxiliary radio system out there. So if by some slim chance there would be a reason to evacuate our 911 center, if it were to catch fire, if there would be a natural gas leak and they'd have to evacuate that area of the community, then our operators would go out to the borough and activate the radio and phone systems out there. This was put in place in the mid-'80s, as close as we can think, and it has never been utilized as a facility. When they installed it, they put the radio in and they put the phone lines in. Well, when we went out and checked it, we couldn't find where the phone lines had been connected. They were run into the building, but we couldn't find any phone jacks to plug them in. Somehow the story got out that the radio didn't work and that there weren't phone lines there. Well, after we investigated it, did some research, found out the phone lines were there, they were installed, the jacks were there, they were above the ceiling tile, and they were even marked. It's just from change of personnel in that office, nobody knew they were there. Went out, pulled them down, checked them out, they were there, they were totally operational. All we had to do was take phones and plug them in. So there was never any chance of a failure in the emergency dispatch system for the county. Just one of those situations that got blown out of proportion, people looking for a story or looking for a problem. It wasn't there. And the PEMA investigation is what it's called. It wasn't an investigation. It was a review. They're going to come in and compliment us on how well some of our systems are running, hopefully, and they're going to offer suggestions on where we can go to improve the other areas. They interviewed our director, they interviewed 911 operators, they talked to the commissioners, they talked to police, fire, ambulance people, they talked to municipal disaster coordinators. They're going to take all this information. They had how many? 5 or 6 people?
There's a team of 6 that came in from PEMA and helped. Each one of them had a certain area of expertise. And like Butch said, they were in for, roughly 4 or 5 days. And each one did what they had to do. And we're expecting that report probably in a couple weeks.
This isn't basically anything different than happened with our prison system when we, in this case though, we asked the Department of Corrections to review our prison system so we could bring it into compliance and a good operating form. And this is PEMA's intentions, at least for us, is to sit down and show us where the weaknesses are, where the positives are, and we'll bring those up and head off any possibility of some kind of a snafu down the track someplace. So it's a streamlining the system, and it's better sometimes through a set of eyes that's outside to look at this and say, you're weak here, you're okay here, you need to go this direction, and give us a push, get us headed the right direction so we can address those issues.
I think, too, with the tragedy of September 11th, I think that has made everybody from the federal government all the way straight through the state and down to the county as well as local municipalities to maybe reassess emergency disaster plans and check out some of the different systems that every one of us has to operate in case of an emergency. That day, September 11th, when we got the word of what had transpired, we were given a 4-letter code, and the 3 of us sat there and looked at one another because we had no idea what that meant. And at that point in time, we got into our operations manual, which is, what, 6 inches thick, and found that this was a heightened emergency. This was a heightened terrorist emergency. And then at that point in time, that gave us the tools as to how we were to react to that situation on September 11th. And I think, if anything, like Butch had said, as well as Dave, the review is normal. The review might be interpreted as Clarion County doing something maybe wrong in their programs or in their projects or the way we handle situations. But if anything, this is a good test to see where maybe some of our weaknesses are before a disaster really happens.
You know what? We're out of time, actually, but I'm glad that we got that much of the story out to get the facts. Thank you guys for coming down. Always
good luck to you in the future.
Well, good luck. Thank you very much. Well, good luck to Clarion County in the
Well,
future.
thank you.
Stay with us. We'll be right back to say goodbye.
I don't want to eat it.
Come on, just one bite.
I don't like it.
This portion of programming is sponsored by Reese Brothers, located in Drake Square Building in Oil City. Reese Brothers offers competitive hourly wage, plus daily bonuses, flexible scheduling, company-sponsored health benefits, and paid professional training. Call today at 1-800-365-3500, extension 684, or 677-9236 for your personal interview, or stop by and visit the Drake Square Building. Reese Brothers, where integrity and technology connect.
Hear the one about the rabbi and the reverend who like to party? A community coalition got them together with local restaurant owners. Now they host drug-free kids' parties.
These guys know how to party.
It's just one example of what community coalitions can do. But it's not the only way to keep kids away from drugs. Visit helpyourcommunity.org to find out what your group can do. Because you get more
When you get together.
Wardrobe for some TV5 News staff provided by Fashion Bugs located in the Clarion Mall. Whether you're looking for junior trendy or fashion for women, they have it all with many different styles. Fashion Bug also offers a wide selection of accessories. Fashion Bug is located in the Clarion Mall, just off exit 62 off Interstate 80. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. till 9 p.m., and Sunday from noon till 5.
Oh.
This system is much better.
Welcome back to Feedback. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thanks once again to the Clarion County Commissioners for joining us. Always fun. This is the last time I ever get to have them on the show. They'll be down for the big party
Yes, we will. We're planning
in
on
April.
that.
But certainly wonderful to have them down in this long form. Next week on Feedback, next Thursday night, State Representative Fred McElhatton will be joining me. We'll be sitting down for a half an hour and chatting. So tune in for that. Have a good evening, everyone. Coming up next is an abbreviated version of Sports Night. Now, as you know, there was some. If you watched the show last night, there were some problems with some tapes. They have corrected that. The tapes are coming to you here in just about 2 minutes. You can watch the stories. They're good stories. Stick around and watch that, and then go watch basketball on CBS or the repeat of Friends and Enemies. But stick around for 10 minutes. All right. Thanks for joining us.